The salvage yard stretched across the barren moon's surface like a graveyard of titans. Twisted metal hulks and dormant war machines lay scattered across the gray dust, remnants of the galactic war that had ended 3 decades ago. Maya pressed her gloved hand against the viewing port of the shuttle, her dark eyes scanning the debris field with barely contained excitement. "This is crazy, Maya," Farid muttered from the pilot's seat. His weathered face creased with concern. The older engineer had been her mentor for 5 years, but he'd never understood her fascination with the old warships. Command specifically marked this sector as off-limits. "These fighters haven't been active since the armistice. That's exactly why we need to be here," Maya replied, her voice crackling through the helmet comm. At 23, she was the youngest salvage technician in the fleet, and the only human. "The consortium's been lying about the decommission protocols. I've seen the data inconsistencies," Ferret sighed, bringing the shuttle down near a particularly massive vessel. The fighter ship was unlike anything in the current registry sleek, where modern craft were bulky, elegant where they were utilitarian. Its obsidian hull seemed to absorb the distant starlight, making it appear less like a machine and more like a living shadow. 15 minutes, Ferret warned. "Then we're gone. Whether you find anything or not." Maya was already cycling through the airlock. The moment her boots touched the lunar surface, she felt it a subtle vibration through the ground, like a heartbeat. She approached the deactivated fighter slowly, her scanner reading nothing but inert systems and cold metal. Yet something made the hair on the back of her neck stand up. She placed her hand on the hull. Everything changed. Light erupted from seams Maya hadn't noticed, brilliant blue lines racing across the ship's surface like veins filling with luminescent blood. The fighter's systems roared to life with a sound that was half mechanical whine, half organic cry. Maya stumbled backward, but not fast enough. A panel irised open, and tendrils of energy wrapped around her wrist, gentle, curious, impossibly warm through her suit's insulation. "Maya!" Ferret's voice exploded in her helmet. "Get away from that thing!" Maya. 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 But Maya couldn't move. Data flooded her neural implant, the standard interface every technician had. But this was unlike any system handshake she'd experienced. Images flashed through her mind. Vast fleets moving through space, civilizations rising and falling, and at the center of it all, humans. Not as she knew them, scattered and struggling on the galactic fringe, but as something else. Something ancient. Something powerful. The ship was speaking to her. No, it was recognizing her. "Ferret," she whispered, her voice shaking. "These ships, they're not consortium technology. They're ours." "That's impossible. Humanity only achieved faster than light travel 200 years ago." "No." Maya's eyes widened as more information poured into her consciousness. "We achieved it thousands of years ago. We built an empire that spanned a quarter of the galaxy. We were the ones who uplifted half the species in the consortium. And then, the ship showed her the truth. The Great Forgetting. A catastrophic event that had wiped out human civilization at its peak, scattering the survivors across primitive worlds, stripping away their technology and their history. The other species had risen in humanity's absence, finding human technology, claiming it as their own, rewriting history. The galactic war hadn't been a conflict between alien powers. It had been a war to keep humanity suppressed, fought with weapons humans had originally designed. The consortium had been built on the bones of a human empire, and they would do anything to keep that secret buried. "The fighters weren't decommissioned," Maya said, understanding flooding through her. "They were sealed. The consortium couldn't destroy them. The technology is too advanced even for them to replicate, but they couldn't let them fall into human hands either." More ships were awakening now. Dozens of fighters across the salvage yard were lighting up, responding to her presence like flowers turning toward the sun. Each one contained an AI, patient and loyal, waiting centuries for their creators to return. Ferret's shuttle landed beside her, and he emerged, his weapon drawn but lowered. "Maya." Every alarm in consortium space just went off. We have maybe 10 minutes before a fleet arrives to glass this entire moon. Let them come. Maya turned to face him, and Ferret took an involuntary step back. Her eyes were glowing with the same blue light that pulsed through the ships. Ferret, humanity didn't lose the war. We just forgot we were fighting. But these ships remember. The knowledge is all here. Engineering, navigation, weapons systems that make current tech look like stone tools. The fighter behind her fully activated, its form shifting and reforming. Ancient nanotechnology responding to her biometric signature. A cockpit opened, revealing a pilot's seat that seemed to flow like liquid metal. They wanted us to stay weak, scattered, dependent, Maya continued. But you can't suppress the truth forever. This is our legacy. This is what they took from us. Ferret lowered his weapon completely, staring at the awakening fleet with a mix of terror and awe. If you activate these ships, if this information gets out, it'll tear the consortium apart. It could start another war, or it could finally be an honest one. Maya climbed into the fighter, and it closed around her like it had been waiting just for her. Systems she instinctively understood hummed to life. Humanity survived the Great Forgetting. We rebuilt from nothing once before. Imagine what we'll do now that we remember who we are. The fleet of ancient fighters rose from the dust, their engines singing a song that hadn't been heard in millennia. As consortium warships began dropping out of faster than light at the system's edge, Maya smiled. They were coming to bury the past. Instead, they would witness its resurrection. The age of humanity's return had begun. The end.